some people, depending on the income bracket, are struggling with that really, really in a recession. But we're heading for a depression. And that's why I got involved. I was doing a reading, and it just came through about the cryptocurrencies. And Spirit said, we want you to shout this out, give it to the people. If their problem was they choose to listen out, free will.
Nissan Armada.
They can also be something else.
Stylish, powerful,
when we don't listen. And I kept hearing Theta. And it was like nothing at the time since.
The Armada is powered by a 5.6-liter endurance engine, rated at 317 horsepower and 385 pound-foot of torque.
Just a little bit, buy some Theta, or buy Theta fuel. All of this, anyways, is on my, I'm thinking here, in my website, you can get the 700 crypto coin report. So, like, I go over all of them. But my big favorite is Theta because it's something that the people could pay pennies for, and they just sit and wait and then turn around and sell it. And it's really made a difference in so many people's lives. And also my other favorite thing to do besides working with children is I work as a health intuitive. And for me, that gives me a sense of satisfaction and gratification. Because if you don't have your health, you don't have anything.
No, and you help kids. That's remarkable.
Yes, thank you. That is my dream to... we're working on that right now. My team is...
Can people alter things that you predict?
Oh, yes. Oh, yeah. I have so many... God forgive me for saying this, but it's really the truth. Just shade, we'll say, or haters or stalkers. And for the life of me, I don't look at that type of information because I don't need it interrupting, my state of grace, which is something that every day I govern to hold 24/7. So, people need to wake up. And when I say wake up, they need to wake up spiritually. Otherwise, they're lost sheep sent off to the slaughter. And right now, Mother Earth is also going through a cleansing process. So there's a lot of natural catastrophic events. And then there are some that are not natural that are manipulated by our government, like for tornadoes, hurricanes, that kind of thing. So it's I don't have an off button.
Yeah, I hear little clicks. Somebody's listening in on you.
Yes, I heard that. I'm on a landline, though, so...
Okay, is nobody else up there?
No.
Just be careful. Be careful.
Yeah, that's true.
You sound like a psychic who doesn't trust a lot of things. Is that pretty accurate?
No, I want to trust in many things, and I do in spirit, but when spirit gives me the information, it's not something I'm thinking about or being analytical or mulling it over or asking my best friend or whatnot. It just comes to me, and the only time I ever find myself in trouble is when I don't listen to the spirit. And then I find myself in a real big mess, and that's on me because, I made the choice not to listen. So just like when I had the car accident, my near-death experience at 18, it took my family 2 hours to talk me to get in the car because I said, listen, I just don't have a good feeling about this,
Oh, you felt it?
Yeah, I felt it, and I said, I really don't care to go with everybody. And then my cousin, he was 15 at the time, he just recovered from 2 types of leukemia, and we were really close. And I usually drive or shotgun, but I get sick in the back seat. But anyways, my guardian angel just, sat down with me and said, this masculine voice, who wants to trade places with me? And my friend that was 15, Stevie, he said, I will. So my cousin was like, what's going on with you? And it was very vague, the details of everything. But sure enough, once a dog ran out in front of the road in Daytona, Highway 40, and my cousin swerved to miss the dog, but then she swerved to oncoming traffic, 45 miles an hour van. So yeah, I found myself above the scene of the accident, looking at my body, going, wow, that's a hot mess. But what I found really interesting is when we're in spirit, and once we're done with this journey, this is just one of many, I really thought I'd be so much more emotionally, evolved. I'm not involved, rather, like, gosh, I'm dead down there, and they're actually bagging me up, time to, But I went into a coma, and, every night it was, she's not going to make it. But they said whenever I would come to, I talked about heaven and the angels and, things like that. So after the accident, Spirit showed me, because I wanted to go home, and I thought I had a very good fight or debate with Faith.
You just get dressed and go home. You can't do that.
I'm ready.
How long were you in a coma?
I was in a coma for weeks.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, and then I was in ICU, and then I was also on my own. So yeah, oh my God, is it? But what doesn't kill you makes you stronger, and Spirit got me through that as well.
Somebody saved you. Somebody saved you for a reason.
Definitely. The paramedics even came to see me. They're like, we can't believe you're alive. The car looked like a unicorn. It was just, smashed into like one thing.
Let's talk about UFOs for a little bit. There's supposed to be a big report out next week about what they are. I don't expect much, but what does the psychic think?
What, in reference, what do you mean?
Well, there's supposed to be a government report out on just what all these things might be.
Yeah, but they're not telling the people the real truth, and they always use, like, for example, there's been a lot of UFO sightings. I mean, listen, let's not be presumptuous to think that we're the only children that God created. You look up there in the sky, we haven't even touched that, much less the ocean. But where I was going with that, and I just lost my train of thought. Spirit talks so fast.
Well, we were talking about, you said that they're not going to come out with the definitive proof for us. Are they going to distort it, or what are they going to do?
They're going to distort it, absolutely. And then even with UFOs, people have all over the world cameras, iPads, all this crazy stuff that you can't deny. And they're here purposely right now. Listen, if they wanted to take us out, they could have done that a long time ago. But these are evolved star beings, I like to call them, or celestial beings. And they are here to help us to stop the war that China has been waging and utilizing Russia. And, I mean, first of all, they've already loaded up their own people, and it's communists there. I mean, I went to Russia and it's communists. I didn't think I was going to make it back, and by the grace of God, I did. But what I'm saying is they've already loaded up all their weak people, elderly people, men that couldn't work, children, and said, just get on a train. We're taking you either to work them to death or kill them. And they're doing this to their own people in China. But he's also going to do this. I'm talking about the dictator, the ruler of China. He's also has this, for 100 years, this plan of conquering the world. Worse than Hitler.
Well, we shall see. Let's hope that prediction doesn't come true.
I pray not. And I would like to say this, the more people that wake up, they have free will. I can't make them. But the more that we wake up and take personal accountability for just our own being and our own mind, heart, and soul, and then, live your life like a prayer, be an example. Every day I try to find someone to help, something new to learn, and something always to be grateful for. And I just think a lot of the light workers, I don't think, I know, they called. They're like, oh, we just can't see the light at the end of the tunnel. I said, well, if enough of us collectively, humanity, we get it together and we start, realizing who's really in charge here, meaning spirit, and incorporating that in your life, it changes everything.
Do you see anything that is positive for us?
The future is never, Spirit always says to me that the future is never written in etched stone. Why? Because even to this very moment, when things are looking very dim, if enough people wake up and just utilize the things I said and just shine their inner light from the inside out, let's say 25% of the world population, if they woke up and they lived a spiritual life, that could change the entire outcome. We always have more than one probable future, and I've seen all three of them. And personally, for me, it wasn't pretty. But, we can't focus on that. We have to, Spirit's always saying, it's very important to be in the moment, be present, be aware. What's done is done. The past is the past. Learn from it. And then, be the best that you can be. And, little random acts of kindness go a long way as well,
They sure do. They sure do. Michelle, we're going to take a quick break. We'll come back and chat more about your psychic abilities. You're also a spiritual medium. I want to talk with you about that as well. And then in our final hour here on Coast to Coast, we'll take your phone calls. And I understand you'll do a few readings for us, so we'll check into that as well. Michelle's website is her name, linked up at coasttocoastam.com. The latest book is called Spiritually Speaking, Future Predictions for 2021 and Beyond. We shall be right back in a moment on Coast to Coast AM.
Coast Insiders, the new version of the Coast to Coast AM app is now available for iPhone and now Android 4.0 and above. Listen live or on demand, anywhere, anytime. Go to coasttocoastam.com and download it today.
Kfi, news on the hour, on the half, and when it breaks.
I'm Phil Hewlett from the KFI 24-hour newsroom. Yesterday's Flex Alert is back. The state's power grid operators calling for another one tonight from 6 to 9, and they want you to voluntarily cut your power usage in hopes of reducing strain on the grid. New rules for the workplace. Cal OSHA board members debated and approved ditching face masks for fully vaccinated workers. After a vote was taken on the rules, Governor Newsom immediately put them into effect with an executive order. It's official. LAUSD teachers will return to school for in-person classes in the fall. They overwhelmingly approved a tentative agreement for a return to traditional in-person instruction for the 2021-22 school year. Southland weather from KFI. Clouds to start, sunny later. Highs in the upper 90s in the valleys in the IE. LA and OC metros, mid to upper 80s, low to mid 70s at the beaches. Right now, City of Orange, 64. San Juan Capistrano, 62. Palos Verdes Estates, 64. And in West Hollywood, 67 degrees. We lead local from the KFI 24-hour newsroom. I'm Phil Hewlett.
In downtown LA, 101 south of the 110, cleanup after a big rig crash and fuel spill. The right lane and the connector to the 110 south are closed. Gardena, 110 south past the 91, solo car spin out. You have a pickup truck facing the wrong way, blocking the left lane. Ontario, westbound 10 past Vineyard, cleanup after a big rig crash there. 3 right lanes are shut down. Watch for a little minor slowing. And then in Lake Elsinore, northbound 15 at Railroad Canyon, fatal crash investigation in the 2 right lanes. KFI in the sky helps get you there faster. I'm Ryan Duggan.
As life opens up, when to wear your mask may be a little confusing, but you can always be certain who to call if you find yourself in handcuffs, and not by choice. I'm attorney Darren Kavanoki of 1-800-NO-CUFFS. My team has the top DUI and criminal defense attorneys in California ready to help you. Case evaluations are free, and we're here day or night. 1-800-NO-CUFFS, because no one looks good in handcuffs, unless you're into that sort of thing. 1-800-NO-CUFFS.
We've spent a lot of time playing solo the past year. COVID-19 vaccines are helping us jump back into the things we love. With the people we love. They're safe and effective for everyone 12 and above. Which means we're one step closer to getting the whole band back together.
All right, guys, let's rock. 2, 3, 4.
Make an appointment at myturn.ca.gov today.
Contractor license 1047-781.
In a desert climate like this one, air conditioners last only about 11 years.
That's still a long time if you compare it to the life of a computer or the average car.
The way to make your car last longer is to change the oil.
How do you make air conditioners last longer?
Get an annual rejuvenation from Gettle.
If you've got one of the old ACs that use Freon, you're going to need to replace that because it's illegal to manufacture or import Freon to the U.S. these days.
You know what I'm going to do for just $129?
What?
I'm going to send America's best AC tech to make 6 critical adjustments to bring that air conditioner back to factory specs.
We got to clean those outside coils while we're there.
You bet. And we're going to clean them the right way, not the easy way.
That's $129 you'll ever spend.
But Gettle Rejuvenation makes your system cool better and faster so that your home uses less energy and has fewer breakdowns.
Gettle. It rhymes with kettle, except it starts with a G and it's spelled really weird.
Gettle. G-O-E-T-T-L.
Will keep you cool, but it's hard to spell.
AMCO presents Bet You Didn't Know.
Bet you didn't know that your car's transmission is made up of 800 pieces. Also, bet you didn't know that AMCO's fixed over 40 million transmissions, and that AMCO offers a nationwide warranty.
And AMCO offers payment plan options for almost any credit situation, so it's easier than ever to fix it fast and pay it off slow. That's AMCO, AA, MCO.
It was a beautiful June morning in Southern California.
Birds were chirping, the sun was shining.
And somewhere on a quiet residential street, a sink was clogging.
The couple experiencing the clog,
Mr. and Mrs. JP,
did something they had never done before. They called the Smell Good plumbers at Mike Diamond.
I'm Mike Diamond. I guarantee my plumbers will show up on time and unclog your sink for $99.
A technician showed up promptly and unclogged the sink.
A few months later, a much more intensive problem turned up in the bathroom.
Mr. JP called Mike Diamond again. They worked up a plan and the repair was made.
Mr. and Mrs. JP felt good enough about the experience to sit down and write us an email.
They commended the Smell Good plumbers on their service and closed by saying they would use Mike Diamond on future services and recommend them to anyone in need of plumbing repairs.
We love Mr. and Mrs. JP, and we'd love for you to read their testimonial and more before calling your next plumber. The address is MikeDiamond.com, or just call us at 1-800-446-MIKE. Contractor's license number 399170.
Hi, I'm Jennifer Fleming. Pandemic-related school closures have left kids across the U.S. vulnerable to falling behind in their education. That's why Save the Children created 100 Days of Reading. All summer long, we'll show you fun activities to keep your kids reading, learning, and moving until they're back at their desks in the fall. With every activity you and your kids do, you'll help unlock funds that provide meals and educational resources to kids hit hard by the pandemic. Join Save the Children for 100 Days of Reading. Find us at savethechildren.org/read.
KFI, AM 640, more stimulating talk.
112,000 signed up members. We've already passed 111. 266 people to go to hit 112,000 members at paranormaldate.com.
And if you're looking for that senior and you're looking for that special person that just maybe is 60 plus or so, head on over to paranormaldate.com/seniors. You'll find that person right there. These are people that think like you do, and they discuss the things you like. Head on over. It's paranormaldate.com/seniors.
At paranormaldate.com, you meet the most fantastic people.
Hi, I'm Tom.
Hi, I'm Jennifer. What brings you here?
Yeah, I'm here to meet someone who understands me.
How so?
Well, I'm into UFOs, ghosts, aliens, Bigfoot, conspiracy theories, the paranormal, that kind of stuff. But can't seem to find anyone who gets it.
Oh, well, nice to meet you, Tom. I gotta go.
Okay, guess that's not your cup of tea. You sure?
Very. Good luck with that.
I can't meet anyone when I'm out, and I really can't find a website for my unique interests. What is one to do?
Have you thought about paranormaldate.com?
What? Who are you?
I'm a paranormal matchmaker, and it's paranormaldate.com. It's a website for people looking for people like them. Stuff you like, remember?
Interesting. I'll give it a try.
Well, let's try this again.
Hi, I'm Tom.
Hey, I'm Deb. Your profile on paranormaldate.com looked very interesting. So you really saw a UFO?
Well, yeah. It was so intense, but not as intense as meeting you.
You're an alien chasing flirt, but I kind of like it.
Wow, this paranormaldate.com thing really worked.
Maybe paranormaldate.com is for you. People with an interest in things they hear on George's show find their match daily. So if you're looking for that special someone with an interest in UFOs, ghosts, aliens, Bigfoot, conspiracy theories, and of course, the paranormal, come to the dating site inspired by George Norrie. It's always free to search, and if you decide to upgrade to our amazing new features, use promo code GEORGE for a great discount. Paranormaldate.com. You are not alone.
Credit Karma Money is a new checking account that lets you win daily instant Karma purchase reimbursements on items up to $5,000. And when you make a purchase between June 8th and June 30th, you'll be entered to win $1 million. Visit creditkarma.com/winmoney. Instant Karma is sponsored by Credit Karma. No purchase necessary. Exclusions and terms apply. See rules. Banking services provided by MVB Bank, Inc. Member FDIC. Maximum balance and transfer limits apply.
Here's country music superstar Brad Paisley for Publishers Clearinghouse.
I'm helping Publishers Clearinghouse change people's lives, and you could be next.
There are just days left to enter to win $1,000 a day for life from Publishers Clearinghouse on June 30th.
Real people just like you really do win.
Don't miss your last chance to win. Enter before it's too late at PCH.com.
Can you imagine? You've got to be in it to win it.
Win $1,000 a day for life. Enter now at PCH.com. Entries due 6/24. No purchase necessary. Void or prohibited.
Hi everyone, it's MZ from KSCO in Santa Cruz. We produce and maintain the criticalhealthnews.com website that so many of you coast-to-coast listeners have come to respect and rely on for valuable health information that is not available in many other places that it should be. We help sick people get well without replacing one disease with half a dozen others in the process. At criticalhealthnews.com, we use education, logic, and common sense to help people understand that good health and long life are rooted in proper nutrition, not in toxic prescription drugs that cause side effects that are often worse than the original disease or condition. Check out the cool articles, videos, Doc Wallach and Pharmacist Ben recordings at criticalhealthnews.com, where you can also order our premium quality products. Or you can call 855-949-7234 to talk to a real, live, competent criticalhealthnews.com human. 855-949-7234.
And welcome back to Coast. George Norrie with you, along with Michelle White Dove. We're going to take calls with Michelle next hour. She'll do some brief readings. And what we'll need from you, obviously, is your Aquarius-type sign, your Gemini sign, whatever your sign is. Let us know that, and she'll run with it. Michelle, are you more a spiritual medium or more of a psychic, or both?
Actually, I'm a spiritual medium, but all mediums are psychics, but not all psychics are mediums, meaning they don't converse with loved ones that have crossed over, or angels, or whomever that's in spirit.
You remember the movie Ghost with Whoopi Goldberg?
Oh my gosh, yes, that was hysterical.
Does that happen to you? Do they jump into your body?
Unfortunately, I've had that experience, and I must tell you, it's not pleasant. So I made sure that I made a mandate to all of my support team, like, okay, you guys can, just stay in my circle, but you don't need to jump in and do trance channeling. I can do conscious channeling, and it's not as taxing. Like, for example, Edgar Casey, he's one of my favorites, but, he just gave it all away. He did trance channeling, but I don't do that. But it's happened to me. Not fun.
Is it uncomfortable?
Yeah, it's a little uncomfortable because it's like they're pushing you out and they're coming in, and, my voice will change and things change. I'm like, no. I have a new rule. You stand close by, and I'll see them. That doesn't bother me. I mean, they've woken me up in the middle of the night. I even was blessed enough to see one of my guardian angels in person, and she woke me up in the middle of the night, and my whole room was glowing like this indigo blue, and she had wings, and it was just, there's no words to give it the glory that it deserves.
Do most people who have loved ones pass, do they communicate with them? Does that happen a lot?
No, I find this, because I taught for many years and at Nova, and I taught spiritual development courses, a basic one and an advanced one. But no, I'll even say to them, when I bring the spirit through, I'm going, your father here has been coming to you night after night, and they're like, I don't remember my dreams. So I'll give them some tools, and the interesting thing, prime time for the spirit world is from 2 o'clock to 4 o'clock in the morning, 3 o'clock the witching hour. And so if anybody wants to work with the spirit world, they know who your guides are, your angels. It's better that you know that, because they're here to assist you to get through your journey as painlessly and as gracefully as possible. They're never going to do you wrong. But me, I like to know their name. I like to know why they're assigned to me, what they're doing, so I can incorporate that. Usually when I pray for about 45 minutes. That's every day.
That's pretty intense.
Yeah, that's what people tell me, but when I do it and I open my eyes, it feels like it's, time is irrelevant. I'm outside of time and space as most people experience it. I think that's I have one leg in the spirit world and one here.
Do you believe in reincarnation?
Absolutely.
So
Yes.
if a spirit has reincarnated, can you still communicate with it if it's already in another human body?
Yes, actually I can sometimes. Yes.
What does it do? Like split or what? How does that
Yeah,
work?
actually, there's a lot of very, I'll use the word advanced, very wise souls that will take on two incarnations at the same time by splitting their energy. Everybody's like, well, I'm just this little old me, and I'm like, no, you're not just your little old self. God is with you, and the Holy Spirit's within you. You're protected with angels and guides that are waiting for you to let them help, work with you. And I tell a lot of people when it comes to the nighttime that struggle, first of all, I tell them don't take sleeping pills and don't drink a bottle of wine expecting to see anybody because you're all doggy.
You'll be gone. That's right.
Yeah, I tell them use a glass of water, not to drink, as a tool. That's a scientific fact of spiritual truth. Put their journal next to their nightstand. And I tell them as they go to sleep, thank God the ego does too, but I tell them, think about that person and tell Spirit that you're okay with seeing them in the spirit world. And then, I have one on my desk and in my nightstand.
Who are these unseen support teams we have?
Guardian angels. We're assigned when we reincarnate 2 guardian angels, 1 master spirit guide, 2 earth angels. Does that mean that that's the same for everybody? Absolutely not. It depends on how evolved you are. How high your vibration, your consciousness is. And then, it's funny for me, I'm not interested in hearing, oh, that's famous, spiritual medium, psychic, Michelle. No, I really prefer to be known and do more as far as humanitarian work. Because, I can sit at my desk and read and read and read, but, when I'm able to do television or the books, a wider audience. For example, tonight you have a huge audience, which I'm sure you know that, George. But, people are listening. Even my clients I was reading for saw and they go, oh, we're going to stay up, we're going to listen.
Yep.
So I get a lot of good feedback from my clients about your show.
I've got every line lit waiting for you for next hour.
Well, they were all waiting. But
Wayne, you will tell people good and bad, won't you? You don't hold back.
I don't hold back. And I warn them that, before people get readings with me, because they think it's a service that they're paying for, so they think they can get whatever they want and what they need. And I said, listen, you get what you need, and what you want usually are 2 different things. And so whether it's about their health or their family or their money or their children, whatever it is, I'm just very bottom line.
Not like that accident that you had when you were younger, but you felt it. You knew it was going to happen.
Yeah.
If you tell somebody, be careful, you could get into a car accident, and you see that,
yes,
can they can alter that then and decide not to drive?
Exactly. That's why I keep doing what I do, because I have found over the years, it's just made such a big difference for people. Even sometimes, like I said, the smallest thing, some people will just email or call in, and it's easy for me, and I'll just answer the question. And for them, that's a big deal. So I'm definitely a giver, and I'm working on the receiving part still.
Good for you. Now, you said earlier that you work with some police departments on unsolved mysteries and crimes.
Yes,
you need, and I've always said this to psychics who do this with police, aren't you careful? Because in the beginning, before they knew really who you were, wouldn't they suspect you as the possible suspect because you know so much about the crime scene?
But you make a valid point there. I've never had that happen to me, thank God. But it certainly has happened to other people that I know, or could happen to me. But, I always take great pride that Spirit protects me and has my back, and all my todays and tomorrows are more than supplied for. And what you put out is what comes back.
Sure. Well, you though have a reputation now, so most departments would know who you are.
Oh, yeah.
But in the beginning, if you said, yeah, the body was found here, and there was a rope tied around the person's neck, and they're saying to themselves, nobody knows that but the killer.
Right. Right.
So you got to be careful.
I am. I only take the cases that God puts in front of me, not my things. But I'm better on location, and that's what we did with the American Psychic Challenge. We had murder cases to solve, health issues. You wouldn't believe all the crazy stuff. And it's funny, I knew nothing about the money, and they purposely did that to us. So I came on the third episode, and you have to, earn your way each episode going up.
Right.
And I remember them going, well, whoever wins is winning $100,000. And I looked at the other psychics, and all I saw was dollar signs in their eyes. And for me, I started laughing because I didn't know. And that was nowhere near remotely the reason why I was doing what I was doing. So that was just an added plus.
Now, you have a live event coming up in July, don't you, in New York?
Yes, I do, upstate New York. It's about 45 minutes outside of Buffalo. It's called Lilydale. I'm sure you have
I've heard of that. Sure.
They've been there since the 1800s, pioneers coming over that were healers, psychics, mediums, and that whole community, that's what we are. And then, our season is, actually I'll be going in July. So it should be quite interesting. I want to tell people, in case they don't know, I want to promote my Patreon, which is my name, Michelle Whitedove, and also my website is easy, MichelleWhitedove.com, because there's so much information that I blog and I put up. It doesn't cost them anything, and it's very helpful, like with health issues, endometriosis, all kinds of things. So I'm going to put that out there before we start banging out those messages. So for everybody, also with the crypto picks, just go to my site. I'm big on Theta Fuel Persistence, which is a new one, but it's my second favorite from Theta. And what I really was surprised about this when Spirit brought this information through, because, money has a way of changing a lot of people. I'm sure you get that, George.
Absolutely.
And I said...
Good or bad.
Yeah, exactly. And I just want to do this because I knew so many people that were living just by week, check by check. And so I said, this is all you have to do, buy Theta when it sets cents, sit on it, and I'm telling you that puppy's going to blow up. And sure enough, it did. And it was so funny. All the men that are friends of mine, that they know it's more scholarly, intellectually. I don't. It's just Spirit brought it through. And it's helped so many people, and that's why Spirit did it. So I thought that was really cool. And Bitcoin Cash is also a big one. And they can get all of my crypto predictions at my Patreon.
Crypto's dangerous, isn't it?
To me, I warn all my clients, it is a form of gambling. And a lot of times when they see the market going down, they act out of fear. They don't listen. So this way, I can go around, and I've been around the world and in so many places and so many things that I've achieved. But it's so important for other people. They go, no, Michelle, you pray for me. And I go, you can pray for yourself, too. You can meditate so you can listen to maybe what the solution is on your earthly problem. But everybody wants a quick fix.
Do you see a big war coming in the next several years?
Yes.
Oh, gosh.
Yes, unfortunately, it's already begun. And if people did do enough research, they would find that. I've actually put a few things up on my social sites where they just disappear.
And again, though, are these things that will be or could be?
A lot of them will be, and many things are already manifesting, and then some of the things could be. And that's why I really want to enhance to the people that are listening. We determine the outcome individually and collectively, and we, the people, are bigger and stronger than the shadow government. And those are the heads of, the world shadow government you don't see. And everybody just thinks it's the president. And there's so much more than that. But they, they don't want to release that information.
So what you do is you present things that could be, and then people have to decide how they're going to work around it or make it happen or make it not happen.
Exactly. And that's why I do put the information out there. I remember when I wrote my books, I said, I'm not writing my books for money. I didn't care about that at all. I distributed them, or rather, I did it myself, White Dove Press. I said, when I did this back in 1998, released my first book in 2000, and I said, I'm writing and doing these books for people all over the world so that can give them some information that hopefully they can utilize and it will help them.
Michelle, you've had some pretty big names as clients.
Oh, yeah.
I don't know if you can release who they were, but how did they find you?
It's funny. I will say this one because it went public. I was on the Million Matchmaker.
Millionaire Matchmaker?
Yes. And I remember being so nervous. I only saw the show a couple of times, and that was enough for me. But I went in and with her fiance at the time, he was about to propose, and I sat down and he surprised her, and they found me. They didn't let her pick one of her psychics or mediums. And I had some really heavy information to lay down to her, like she was looking for her mother, and her mother had just passed, and she was adopted. She wanted to know why. There was so much information that she didn't say a peep. And then when I was finished, the producers are like, listen, are you interested in having a job in working with Patty every day to help her do her show?
Patty Stanger, right? Patty Stanger was the host.
Yeah,
right?
Patty Stanger. I said, no, actually I'm not. I already have my job. Thank you. And they go, she just can't believe it because you nailed everything. And I mean, and they also said it was the quietest that she's ever been, and I'm the only person that she didn't throw out the door and, say not nice things to. So it was a win-win.
She was tough on that show.
Yeah, she's tough. She's real tough. She's got no problem telling you where the door is and how to get there.
You've been doing this now for how many years?
Oh my goodness, really all my life, but I've officially, since after the accident, 18, because before that I was gifted, but it was so taboo in my day, my family.
It's more acceptable today, isn't it?
Yes. So after, God showing me my future 3 times so that I would come back, and I did. I said, you know what, I'm going to come back, I'm going to hurry up and fulfill this quota, this mission so I can come back home. Well, I'm still here, so I guess I haven't completed my mission. But, a sense of humor goes a long way these days, too. I'd rather laugh than cry. And if people would just be a little bit more open-minded and, what do they have to lose to incorporating prayer or meditation in their life? It's often like when I tell one of my clients, you met that person and your first intuition, that knowing was, ooh, I don't like this person. But then they intellectualize it and go, oh, maybe I'm being judgmental, so I'll give this person a chance only to get stung. And then they go, why didn't I listen to my intuition? So our intuition is the voice of spirit within.
Sure is. Michelle, we're going to take a break, but we're going to come back with our final hour with you in a moment and take phone calls on Coast to Coast AM. We shall be right back. Don't touch your dial.
Find out more about tonight's guest. Log on to coasttocoastam.com.
The best way to get into trouble and cause a ruckus is to tell the truth. We know firsthand. You actually don't get in much trouble for making things up. You get in trouble when you tell the truth. John and Ken, weekdays 2 to 6 on KFI.
The new COVID relief bill pays businesses up to $10,000 in tax rebates per employee per quarter. And if you receive PPP money, your business likely qualifies. Companies figuring out how to get your hands on the money. InnovationRefunds.com got me and my partner a 6-figure refund. They're good. Their world-class CPAs crack the code on how to access these tax rebates. They do the legwork and share a percentage of the cash they get back for you. Over 6,000 businesses, over $460 million. Now, this is $10,000 per employee per quarter. Go to innovationrefunds.com, click on the Qualify Me button, answer a few questions. Innovationrefunds.com. No risk,